I don't want your money. Men hear that sentence and instantly relax. It feels like a green light, a release of pressure, a sign you're finally dealing with someone different. In a man's mind, refusing money means independence. It means she's not transactional. It means you're wanted for who you are, not what you provide. And sometimes that's true. But sometimes, that sentence doesn't mean what you think it means at all. This video isn't about accusing anyone of lying. It's about understanding how that sentence functions inside a very different psychological and economic system. Because refusing your money doesn't automatically mean she's independent. Sometimes it means you're not her only source. Most men interpret relationships through a single income lens. You work, you earn, money flows in predictable lines. So when someone refuses your support, it signals self-sufficiency. But a bar girl doesn't live inside a single income reality. Her world is fragmented by necessity. Money doesn't come from one place. It comes from many. Some steady, some temporary, some visible, some intentionally not. This isn't deception. It's survival in an unstable environment. When income is uncertain, dependency becomes dangerous. So the mind adapts. The goal becomes simple. Never let one person control the tap. That's the context most men never see. Because when she says, I don't want your money, you hear morality, she's thinking logistics. She's not rejecting money. What she's rejecting is leverage. Accepting financial support creates gravity. It creates expectations, availability, monitoring, questions, pressure. Money doesn't just help, it binds. A bar girl is aware of that relationship better than any man. And when someone has learned to survive by staying unbound, refusing money isn't noble, it's protective. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If she genuinely had no other options, refusing stable support would make no sense. Humans under real scarcity do not reject resources, they prioritize them. So when money is declined, one of three things is usually true. Either she already has support elsewhere, or she has fallback options she doesn't want scrutinized, or she wants emotional benefits without financial entanglement. None of these make her evil, but all of them mean you are not central. That's the part men struggle with, because independence feels flattering. Plurality does not. This is where compartmentalization comes in. A bar girl doesn't experience money as one category, it's split. There's work money, relationship money, help, gifts, emergency support, past connections still active, online income that doesn't feel like real income. Each compartment carries different emotional weight. Refusing your money doesn't mean she doesn't need money. It means she wants to keep you in a specific compartment, often the emotional one. You get affection, time, intimacy, reassurance, while someone else absorbs cost. In her internal logic, this feels ethical. No one is being explicitly used. Everyone gets something. No one has to confront the full picture. But from your side, it feels off. Because emotional closeness without logistical alignment creates confusion. Men mistake this setup for virtue, because men are trained to associate refusal with sincerity. If she doesn't take your money, she must not be using you. But that logic only works in monogamous economic systems. In plural systems, refusal doesn't mean purity, it means load balancing. You're not the provider, you're one node in a network. This is why the phrase often appears early, before structure forms, before expectations solidify, before clarity is required. It's not said to reassure you. It's said to preserve flexibility. If she never takes your money, she never owes you explanation. And if she never owes explanation, she keeps her autonomy. That autonomy feels safe to her, even if it feels destabilizing to you. Here, where men start paying the invisible cost, because without realizing it, you begin compensating emotionally. You give more patience, more understanding, more tolerance. You stop asking certain questions. You tell yourself she's different. Meanwhile, the relationship never becomes clearer. Plans stay vague, availability fluctuates, explanations stay soft, and you don't push, because pushing feels like turning love into a transaction. But here's the critical reframe. Money isn't the test, coherence is. A healthy dynamic isn't defined by generosity or refusal, it's defined by alignment. Does her lifestyle make sense given what she tells you? Do her resources match her freedom? Does emotional intimacy come with logistical presence? Or do words and reality never quite touch? Red flags don't look like greed. They look like contradiction. Refusing your money while maintaining expensive habits, rejecting support while never being available, claiming independence while relying on invisible structures. The problem isn't that she doesn't take your money. It's that the system doesn't add up. Men in this situation often ask the wrong question. Why won't she take my money? The real question is quieter. Why does she need to make sure I'm not the one providing it? Because money creates narrative, and refusing it keeps the story unfinished. This isn't about controlling anyone. It's not about forcing dependency. It's not about buying loyalty. It's about understanding systems before you sacrifice yourself inside them. A woman who refuses money but also refuses clarity isn't virtuous. She's simply noncommittal. And non-commitment is fine, as long as you don't mistake it for exclusivity. There's a difference between independence and dispersion. Independence is self-contained. Dispersion is spread out. If her life works without you in every tangible way but collapses emotionally without your attention, you're not her partner. You're her emotional regulator. And that role is expensive in ways money never is. Here's the final point most men need to hear. You don't lose by seeing this clearly. You don't become bitter. You don't become transactional. You don't become cold. You become accurate. And accuracy is what keeps men from bleeding slowly while calling it love. I don't want your money is not proof of sincerity. It's a signal that money is already handled elsewhere. So stop listening for reassurance. Start watching for coherence. Because clarity always matters more than comfort, and confusion is never accidental. Not in systems that have learned how to survive with duality.
Uh,